It's J-Man Powerhouse.
And Steven Jackson 13, the better one.
Welcome to episode 21 of the License Seals podcast, entitled Connor's Story Arc Part 2, and We're Not Dead.
Episode 21. We are now legal to drink and enter the strip club, which is what we will be talking about in this episode.
We'll get there, but we're not dead. The title of the episode is not We're Not Dead, but we're not dead.
Well, you're not dead. I've been reincarnated, so.
I mean, inside everybody's dead, let's be honest. So, what we mean by that is we know we haven't uploaded in what seems like 7 years. It's been that long.
That's an exaggerated overstatement.
It's been a long time. We've been working on stuff. I've been working on stuff. I've been trying to get in contact, and people just don't seem to want to talk to me, which doesn't help.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Yeah, exactly. So it's interesting, but I'm trying to get connected with people, not in that way, but like connecting with people to try and be able to get them on the podcast. JoJo Siwa.
And how does that make you feel?
But
reaching out to these people, how does that make you feel?
What?
Reaching out to people, how does this make you feel?
It makes me feel comfy. No. It depends on the person. Like, I've tried to reach out to a bunch of people, and I'm not gonna say this about a single person. I'm just gonna say this about like not most, but some famous people in general. Like, they tell you to add them on Snapchat, and they tell you to add them on Instagram or Twitter and talk to them, and then you add them, and they never acknowledge you exist. So,
and when did you notice this first start happening?
Are you my therapist now?
Hey, it took you long enough. Although I did go to school for psychology, so.
I noticed it started happening 2 days ago.
If you hadn't picked up on it, my next question was going to say, I was going to tell you, interesting, get a little deeper.
So no, what I mean though is, like, a lot of YouTubers and like famous people, they're always like, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, add me on Snap, and then you do all those things, and like, then they never even realize you exist. Just like my normal day life. No, I'm kidding.
Interesting. Get a little deeper.
We're gonna get deeper as we head to the drink that. Okay, that was terrible. But anyway.
Wow.
So yeah, so we've been busy. Well, I've been busy. He's just been doing nothing.
Wow, you've been busy while we're going to the sex club. You're talking about going to a sex club and getting into it, and you've been doing work. What have you been doing?
I've been reaching out to a bunch of people.
You just said, and I quote, I've been busy.
I have been busy contacting my agent.
Oh, is that what you call her?
Oh, how do you know it's a her? Hold up, it's 2019.
Yeah, and?
How do you know it's a her?
Because the Bible mandates it. Can we move on?
So I've been contacting my agent, and my agent. I'm kidding, guys. I don't have an agent.
Clearly, you're not that big yet.
Yet.
And from what I hear, it's not very big either.
And thank you for listening to episode 21. This is why we have not recorded in what seems like 7 years. I was speaking about announcements. So I made this announcement a long time ago that we were going to get to more than just video games and more than just, see, now I almost said sex clubs, more than just video games and more than just TV shows. With TV shows, we will eventually get to once Steven decides to actually do them.
Hey,
But
more than just video games, more than just sex clubs, I'm good either way.
so anyway, I've been talking to people. I'm just gonna ignore that comment completely. I've been talking to people on Twitter, and I am happy to add. And it sounds like a sorority unit now, but
What is Twitcher?
it's a combination of Twitch and Twitter.
I don't know where you go with that. I met them on Twitcher. What?
Give it 5 years, dude. Give it 5 years. It'll be a thing. You'll be able to watch Twitch from Twitter.
Or you'll probably just be able to Twitter from Twitch.
I don't know. That sounds like a lot of loopholes. But anyway.
Mind blown.
Apple, Twitter, Twitch, hit me up in the DMs, man. Anyway, so I've been promising this for a while, and I am proud to, I guess, somewhat announce. No, I'm proud to announce that I've talked to my, I guess I could say friend. No, yeah, my friend on Twitter, and his name is Dan, not Dam, Dan.
Wait, Dan Forden?
No, not that Dan. Dan, D-A-N, not Donnie, not Donatello from the Ninja Turtles. Dan.
No, I said Dan. Dan Forden is the one in Mortal Kombat that used to go, Toasty!
No, not him. I can't say his last name.
Dan from Street Fighter, the training guy.
No. I can't say this guy's last name because I don't know.
Ooh, Kenny Ortega, the choreography for Nickelodeon Channel.
Anyway, I can't say this guy's last name because I don't know if he wants me to. So I won't plug him, although if you follow me on Twitter, you will see that he will now be a part of the podcast because I've tagged him in things recently. So if you really want to know who it is, you can go in and follow him on Twitter and just look at my recent people I've mentioned. And you'll
so Dan's now part of the podcast?
Yes, Dan is now part of the podcast.
I have one song to sing for that. Don't you forget about me.
So anyway, me and Dan have been talking, and Dan is going to do a WWE show with me.
Wait, you and Dan have been talking? Like verbally or quote-unquote talking?
We've been talking to DMs. And
the dick maintenance?
Places. No, and now this podcast is age gated on YouTube, so thanks for that. Fuck.
Oh, please, Dick is shortened for Richard. It's a name. Don't get all hyped.
We've been chatting in the DMs, and we've decided to do a WWE show together. So when we do that, I can tell you, I don't know when the hell it's going to be. It's going to be sometime this week. That's all I can say.
Wait, you said WWE?
Yes.
World's worst episodes.
Shut the fuck up. You won't even be there.
Oh, look, now look. You just made it age dated.
I mean, you already made it age dated, so I just added to the momentum of the age
date. Oh,
the
hell you did.
So anyway, me and Dan have been talking. And in our first episode, we were, I don't know if we're going to do this in one episode or we're going to split it out between 3, but me and Dan are going to talk about the Rumble.
Oh, my God.
What?
Are we going to get to Detroit at some point tonight?
Yeah, as soon as I finish this, I'm almost done.
Well, hurry up. You're taking forever.
We're going to get to... me and Dan are gonna get to the Rumble, Raw, and SmackDown, which I'm actually missing right now to record this. And we're gonna talk about some news items, like DNA and Ember Moon getting hurt, and we'll talk about other things. So stay in tuned on my Twitter, in touch on my Twitter. Turn notifications on. Get ready because we're taking a road to WrestleMania with the Life is Leo's. We're taking a road to WrestleMania with the Life is Steel's podcast. Okay, I'm done. Hello? Dan, are you there? John? Joey?
What you want?
We're taking the road to WrestleMania with the Life
No, we're
is
not.
Steel's
We're taking the road
podcast.
to Detroit because Detroit is more important.
Okay, well, after that, me and Dan are going to take the road to WrestleMania with the Life is Steel's podcast. Now, can we get to Detroit?
And ironically, fun fact, Detroit is only 4 hours southeast from where I live. So, there you go.
What does that have to do with wrestling?
It doesn't have anything to do with wrestling. It has to do with Detroit, which is the topic we're on, damn it. So, we're going to start off.
What does MKX mean?
MKX, Mortal Kombat 10, douche.
Oh.
Durr! We got a smart one here.
I saw something about that on Twitter. Never mind. Keep going.
We got a live one here. Durr! So, from where we last started, we left off with Connor meeting Hank at the chicken shack. So the next night actually, we arrive at Hank's house and there's nobody to answer the door. So you have the option of looking in the window, looking in the door, ringing in the doorbell, but essentially you'll come to having to break the window. Now, upon entering, you've got a giant St. Bernard that comes up to you, and under certain circumstances, the dog will not attack you. And I thought this was a very adorable dog, personally. Hank is lying out, passed out on the floor. There's a gun with one bullet next to him and an empty bottle of whiskey. I'll let you guys do the math. This part's, I've seen a lot of people stream this, and this part's humor. You end up starting to smack him a little bit, and he starts coming to a little bit, and then you smack him really hard, and everybody loves it.
Why did you laugh when you said that? You were like, you smack him really hard, and everybody goes,
what? You do. You smack him across the face. You don't tickle him. You don't play with him. You smack him across the face.
What do you mean by play with him?
Anyway, we decide we're going to get him up and take him into the bathroom. Now, this can be a little disturbing to some players because it actually shows him throwing up in the toilet.
Yeah, that was
but essentially, you put him in the tub and turn on the hot water. And the whole time he's telling him, get out of his house and don't assault me and everything. And the moment you turn the water on, he tells you turn it off. So you turn it off, and then he looks at you saying, what the fuck are you doing here? Like, the last 5 minutes never existed. But this is where you go to get him close for him to change into to get to the crime scene, which takes place at the Eden Club, also known as Android. Well, technically pole dancing, they don't strip down.
Jesus Christ.
Well, people need to know this.
I was talking about something I was reading on Twitter, not you, but yeah, you too.
Wow.
You just want to throw yourself at, I mean.
I'll leave you to your tissues. So,
I'm not crying yet.
Well, sure, we'll go with that. So we'll go with while Hank is getting dressed, you can explore the apartment. There's CDs, there's the dog, there's a few things scattered around the kitchen, and the most interesting one is if you find it, it is correlation to why he was playing Russian roulette with the gun. And so anyway, you head out to the crime scene at the Eden Club. And you can play around a little bit. You can have Connor look at some of the androids and whatnot. You go in to find a guy that is dead under the sheets and a dead android propped up against the wall. You start your investigation by checking the wounds, checking for evidence. You end up having to reattach a wire in order to bring the android female back to life. You get to ask it 2 or 3 questions, and then you have to find clues. Now, the only way to find these clues is to go over to a tank to find out that it's $30 for 30 minutes, which most of you know nowadays is a pretty good deal. But unfortunately,
Sounds like my ex's deal. Okay, no, I'm not going there.
So anyway, it will not allow androids to purchase other androids. You need a human's handprint. So Connor has to convince Hank to put his palm on this container. Well, you find out that there was 2 sex bots in the room and not just one. So he ends up renting it, and then you get your information. And Hank asks, what am I supposed to do with this? Well, tell it you changed your mind, which, I'm not going to lie, should happen in real life, but whatever. Then it's just a matter of a series of going around and checking different droids to see where the second droid ended up heading off to. And if you don't do it in 3 minutes, you fail the mission. If you do it in 3 minutes, then there's a big fight scene, and then you got to determine whether or not to take action. And that is the best I can do.
There was one more thing I wanted to touch upon.
And of course, it's probably not related to Detroit either.
No, it's not, but I meant to bring it up in the beginning. But I do actually want to talk about the Detroit. I messed up the 3-minute thing, but I'll get to that in a second. So I want to talk about Willis for a second. What?
You said we'll get back to the 3. I messed up the 3-minute thing. What'd you do with the other 2 minutes?
Anyway, Willis for a second. So if you know
why he's not in here?
No, it's not anything bad. I'm just gonna let people know why those videos are down.
No, they don't need to know that. Just say that if they would like to continue to see his videos, they will be over on his channel.
That's what I was gonna say.
Which he also said he would like to do himself.
So yeah, so anyway, as he took the spotlight from me, we had a talk with Willis, and to find all his compilations and clips, you can check his channel out. Did he tell us to link it? I forget.
No, he told us not to link it, not to show him if he's not in here. I am not getting yelled at for this.
That's okay. He probably cares. He won't. I talked to him about it a couple days ago. The main point I was going to make here was that you can see that me and Steven, or at least me, are going to be doing clips and compilation videos, and they are right now on our YouTube, and I have one of, and I did get confirmed for this, I had one of Tony Acts Out, or Tony Bandana, or whatever the hell this guy's name is. I have one of him, so go check that out on our YouTube. And anyway, yeah, so I messed up the 3-minute thing.
I did the first time, but I did not on the second because I looked it up.
What?
I said I messed up my first time, but I did not on the second because I looked it up.
Oh, I did too. I looked it up the second time. I couldn't. I tried to I tried to do it the first time and then messed it up. And then when I tried to do it the second time and I couldn't get it, I I was like, fuck this, I'm looking this up.
Right?
So I looked it up, like, I got, like, midway through the second one, and then I was just like, fuck it, I'm looking this up. So I just looked it up.
And for those of you who don't know, the actor that plays Connor is in real life ended up getting married to the young female who plays the Tracy droids, and they live just outside of Detroit. So I didn't want to give that away until we got to this point, but yes. And no, this is not the reason they got married. They actually started on a movie, then they played together on True Blood for a bit, and she went on to do a voice in Quantum Break, which is an Xbox One exclusive. And then they teamed back up on Detroit, and he just got married to her, 2-3 months ago?
2.5, I think.
Yeah, that's about right.
Around there. 2.5. I think it was 2.5. I can't remember though. But yeah, you know what? Maybe we'll shout them out on Twitch.
No.
Or you know what? We don't have to shout them out because everyone knows who they are. So.
Well, that and I didn't want people that didn't know who they are to know who they are and start spamming the inbox on Twitter. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure everyone knows who they are though.
Not everyone. I bet you the Amish don't know.
The Amish, I'm not going there. I'm not going down that road. I was about to say something, but I'm containing myself.
Just say it's because they don't have electricity and move on.
I have to go to the Amish market and get some food. That's
all the essential supplies: bread, milk, flour, and eggs.
Let's just go with that. That's all I'm gonna say.
Actually, I'm in a play right now where they bring over a basket and they say that they've got all the essentials: bread, milk, eggs, flour, sugar, and the Reader's Digest. So it's kind of a comedic thing, but sure. So after that gets done, did you have any more thoughts on the sex club?
No, not really. Just that, like, I don't know. I thought it was weird.
I'm not going to say a lot about this. I didn't fill in a lot because I didn't want to portray a lot of spoilers. I didn't want to take away from the imagination. I didn't want to make anybody feel uncomfortable with the figures, the looks, the appearances. All I'm going to say, it was very, very nice. But, yeah, moving on. Oh, shut up, J-Man. You loved it, too.
I love many things.
So, anyway, the next scene is Connor pulling up to later that... Huh?
Pulling... I'm just going to ignore what I think you said, and we're just going to continue.
I said pulling up, not pulling out. He pulls up to the park later that evening where Hank has decided to go to the park, and he's sitting on a bench drinking more booze, which, I mean, by the sounds of it, you know, we find him at a bar, we find him drinking in his house, we find him drinking in the park. This is beginning to become a pattern with Mr. Lieutenant Anderson. But,
yeah.
He mentions that he used to come here all the time before, and he cuts off. And Connor asks, before what? And he shuts up. But if you guys have made the right choices, you know, you'll pretty much figure out what happened and why he quit going there. But basically, a small conversation takes place, and Hank tells him, you're such a smart ass with all your knowledge and intelligence. And he does pull his gun on him. And he says, what would happen if I pull this trigger? Nothing. Oblivion. Android heaven. And based on...
Is that called Evan?
Huh?
Is it called... I don't even know why I'm going to try and just... Is it called Andreven?
Yeah, I don't know why you tried that either. It sounds terrible.
Oh man,
it sounds just as bad as your singing, maybe a little better. Nothing can be worse than your singing.
Check me out. No, I can't do that to Daniel Bregoli. Nope. me singing that would me even saying that ruins her good name. So
Anyway,
yeah, let's not go down that road.
Keep on talking to Hank, and depending, I wasn't going to give too much away, but this one kind of has to. Depending on your relationship at this point with Hank, whether he likes you or not, will determine whether or not he actually pulls the trigger. So yes, you can get your Connor killed in this regard if Hank doesn't like you enough. If he likes you enough, he's clearly not going to shoot. He's just going to walk away. And that is the end of the arc. And J-Man, how long have we been streaming?
First of all, we're recording.
Streaming, recording, same thing. How long?
Well, I actually want to touch upon a couple different things.
Okay, that still doesn't answer my question.
25 minutes. We go for a half hour. I got a couple things I want to talk about real quick. Anyway.
I didn't realize those three were going to be so short.
Yeah, I didn't either. That's okay. I mean, we just got to get back in the game. You know, we haven't uploaded in a while. And
I could do more, folks, but if I do more, it's going to spoil it, and I need to make sure that we don't overlap any other story arc. We're trying to keep them simultaneous. So,
speaking about spoiling, I get the notifications in my DMs that you want us to talk about episode 2. We're going to wait a little bit. Okay? Wait a little bit to talk about Life is Strange episode 2. All right?
In other words, hold your horses!
Because, yeah, like, I kept getting all these DMs, and it was weird, because, like, I didn't want to, I didn't want to be, like, mean about it, but, like, some people would just DM me, and I got a couple emails today, too, and people were just like, sorry, episode 2's out, when you talking about it? And I was like, eventually?
Whenever we damn well feel like, that's when.
Calm down. I don't know what you want me to.
Right. Or you've got what I've had friends tell me on online gaming, call them your tits, but yeah, we're gonna get to it. Just give us a little bit of time to get there. We had to finish episode 21 at the very least, before we get into that. So
yeah. Sorry, I don't know what happened. I just cut out there. Yeah, I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna say maybe a week and a half, and then we'll see. Because this, I mean, the way it sounds now, we're probably gonna have another 3 months until we have to cover the next episode anyway. So, as annoying as it is, it's a very good marketing strategy, if you know what I mean.
We try to do our best. We try to do our best, but things just keep getting in the way because life is strange like that.
Oh my God. Anyway,
if it isn't bad enough for one of us, life is strange too. Okay, now you may go ahead.
Life is strange to us? I don't know.
Oh my God, that takes me way back when, to the Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit was a thing.
Oh. Okay, well, so I was just talking to Dan in the DM, and I want to get to Hank really quick. I want to cut back to Hank. Yeah, you were talking about, you said something about Hank. What exactly was it? Oh, you get to know, by this point, what the character Hank really is. You know what I mean? And you get to get a connection with it. So that's cool too.
Yeah, this is pretty much the first impact you actually have as far as whether you're just friends or whether you're just partners as an android that is with a human and the human having to put up with the android. This is where your forces. This is where your choices tend to make a major impact in the game.
Yeah.
This is no longer just a game. This is where you become human.
This is where you become human. So I was just talking to my man Daniel, and it sounds like we will be recording on Sundays. I don't know when Sunday. At some point, I'm kind of hoping it'd be Sunday night because I have nothing else to do. Maybe I'll just edit compilation clips, or maybe I'll get a life.
Hey, J-Man.
What?
Speaking of Life is Strange 2, and not to get anybody's hopes up, but have you reached out to Roman, who's the voice of Daniel, for an interview?
I've reached out to everybody. I've told you this before.
I wasn't sure if you remembered that or if it slipped your mind.
I've reached out to him, and he hasn't been on for a while, but when he is on Twitch, I try and...
Yeah, I thought... he hasn't been on in a while. I thought maybe I wasn't following him, and I'm like, no, I'm following.
Yeah, people have lives, man.
Life is mood.
Life is mood. Oh, no football news. Well, that sucks. Oh, well, I'll cover that another time. Anyway, what? Anyway, so we're gonna promote a couple more things. I guess I'll promote Dan, my man Dan, on the way out.
Dan the man.
Dan the man. So, things to promote. We wanna... Can people subscribe to us? So we now have some sort of amount of subscribers. We have a bunch of us in a general fashion. We now have 40 subscribers. So you can get more people, and you can subscribe to us on YouTube's Life is Feels podcast. Where can you email us?
At the Life is Feels podcast at gmail.com.
For updates on this episode and many more, and basically just to stalk me on Twitter. I have multiple Twitter accounts, but I won't promote that one in this. I might promote that one. I'll promote that one with Dan, because that one's more about like sports and stuff, and this one's more about like voice acting, and it's spread out. But anyway, you can follow the official Life is Feels podcast on Twitter. And I think I changed my name actually. So let me look, because it's at Life is Feels now, at J-Man Powerhouse. So you go on Twitter, you type in Life is Feels, and there you go. You can go to threadless.com/Life is Feels podcast, which apparently was still selling shirts, which I didn't realize. Steven, where can people reach out to you?
I am on Twitter at StephenAlch13.
We follow our music partner, Riley Hawk, who we have told her whenever she uploads a new song or does something, we still have to upload the rest of her songs, which we will do. I promise you we will upload the rest of her songs. I just have been busy doing other things. But until then, you can go to YouTube and check her out at Riley Hawk Music. Oh wait, I forgot her Twitter. You can follow her on Twitter at Hawk Music. You can go to our YouTube, Riley Hawk Music, SoundCloud, search Riley Hawk, hawkmusic.com. Her friends have a podcast called Team Turtle Ducks. I guess this isn't updated, but they played Life is Strange episode 1. I'm guessing they played episode 2. Twitch.tv /Team Turtle Ducks. You can check out. What about Steve?
Steve Fantasy?
Yeah.
You can reach out to Steve at Steve_Fantasy, I believe.
Fantasy. Steve_Fantasy. FANTASY on Twitter. That banner guy, graphic designer, Steve Fantasy Design.com. I guess I might as well promote this guy now too. So you can I have to find him. You can follow the guy, and I don't know how the hell to say this guy's last name, so I'm just gonna give it a shot. But the guy who's going to be doing the rest
just
of the
spell it out.
His name is Daniel Ratzak.
Yeah, spell it out.
At DAN or capital DAN capital RATAJCZAK. Again, that's capital DAN capital RATAJCZAK. So he will be the next member of the Life of Steelers podcast. You can follow him on Twitter, obviously, there, and check that out. You can go to Twitch and check out twitch.tv /babycobra, twitch.tv /origin, twitch.tv /crystallisis, 7cups.com, the number 7, www.7cups.com. Find help, online therapy, and free counseling, and someone to talk to while on the go. We are here to listen.
Absolutely free.
Absolutely free. Check out my friend Wattpad and search Curious Winchester 17. And all I'm gonna say for now is she's been working really hard, and she deserves it. So give her all the attention in the world you can. And now we don't have a fundraiser set up now because we're still working on things. So I'm going to say this: whenever you buy something online, go to www.easyfundraising.org.uk and then click on causes and click on ILS fund. Click on causes and then ILS fund, which is International Survival Fund. Every time you buy from Amazon, PayPal, eBay, whatever the fuck John Lewis is, Expedia, Booking.com, anything, the money you buy it with, then that website donates some of that money to the charity. So that is another way we can set it up. So that is www.easyfundraising.org.uk /causes/IOS fund, and then there's just another slash. So for J-Man Powerhouse
and Steven Jackson 13,
thank you so much for listening to episode of the Life of Steelers podcast entitled Connor Story Arc Part 2. Steelers is... wait, no, you have to do it.
Remember, folks.
Always take the shot.
And remember, remain deviant. For feels is life.
And life is feels. Thanks so much for listening. We'll see you next time.